Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam
Good
warahmatullahi
afternoon,
wabarakatuh.
everyone. My name is Sigit Ahmad Fauzan, and I'm from Group 1. Uh, I will discuss about how complicated man is. I think there are three male complexities I'm forced to dismember myself as a man. First, when women buy expensive makeup or bags, they say that it's extravagant. When men spend a lot of money on action figure. Second, women can be beautiful in front of other men, and they are sweetly smiling at women who passes by. And the last, women who were addicted to drama and forgot that they were also addicted to soccer or races. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And my opinion about how the gender more complicated. I think women more complicated in any part, such as in a part of relationship. Woman wants other people knows about what she like or what she doesn't like without say about that directly. And if other people misunderstand about what she like or what she doesn't like, she said enggak peka or means not sensitive enough to know about she or a woman. That's all.
Okay, my name is Nurmanisa. I'm from Group A, Group 1. A man who behaves regularly in life and works with other men with his favorite behavior completely. Men are not comfortable with his. It's not so surprising then that man whose physical prowess is a defining characteristic may be surprised that someone thinks that cannot cross the threshold without help to handle strong emotion, to deal with conflict with understanding, confidence, and constructive. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Anna Sofia Nurfani from Group Second. I think women more complicated than men. Why? Because men see more on the rational side, so emotional is sideline. This is what makes women have more consideration, so they are considered more complicated. Besides, it is different ways of communication because the way of communicating is different. Misunderstandings often occur. Why? Because women often don't communicate what they really want to say and hope men can catch what they mean. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Karina Putri Januarso and I'm from the group 1 and I agree with that men is so complicated. You know what? Men are so hard to understand. I guess it could have to do with how they communicate and display emotions. Traditionally, emotional control has been a marker of masculinity and something that society uses to show how men and women differentiate. This can result in the conception that men don't share their true feelings, leading to the creation of books such as What Men Won't Tell You But Women Need to Know, or movies such as the upcoming movie What Men Want. This aspect of masculinity and the expectations set for men to be emotionally holding or less communicative can contribute to another reason why boys are such complicated, which is the idea of toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity is one narrow expression of masculinity that permeates different aspects of American culture. Toxic masculinity is defined by aggression, sex, status, and violence. Strength is the most important, and emotions are seen as weaknesses. The idea that men don't cry or that boys will be boys stems from toxic concepts about what manhood means. If most people believe that men are naturally violent or uncommunicative, then men are excused for any consequences for that type of behavior. Toxic masculinity isn't asserting that all men are violent. In fact, the conversation was started by men to try and consider how certain conceptions about gender had affected their lives. It's the idea that men believe they should act in certain ways because of how manliness is portrayed by our society. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. My name is Trio. For me, women are more complicated. Uh, they're just as simple. Women describe themselves as warmer, more welcoming, but more anxious and sensitive to their feelings than men. While men mention that they were more assertive and open to the new idea. Different in emotion, perspective, problem solving from women and men. Because meant to shape women as more complicated because they use their emotional side more than the national side. Eh, rational side. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Puput Deskilasari from Group A, and we are living in modern, educated, and well-informed world. It can be easily concluded that there are no real psychological differences between behavior of men and women. However, because of different cultural background and personal experiences, there could be difference perceived by individuals. So, who is complicated gender, man or woman? For me, absolutely man. Men tend to very scientifically approach the issue. The world isolate the non-related issue, identify the main issue or primary issue, secondary issue, etc. Then they would get busy in finding various alternative ways to solve the problem. The third step would be to find the best strategy to solve the issue out of various alternatives available. Whereas women tend to do the job finding the solution in different way, and they do it much faster. Yet, women do not overlook any aspect or sub-issues without getting into the complications. Women normally come out with an easy and more practical approach. Man behavior has two important components, and these are fact and logic, while women behavior is influenced by their intuition and emotion. Men give too much attention to how women look. They observe the woman very minutely, especially the woman they are in interact in. In comparison, women don't care as much. Women possibly do not give so much time and attention about how men look. In sharp contrast, women pay way too much attention to what is said by men. Not only that, women are also smart in paying attention to what is not said. Two men may pretend that they are listening to very word and keep nodding their heads, but they actually are not paying much attention. Most women can control their smile very professionally. They will usually give a good smile for a photograph, even when they are not happy inside or they are in a group where others are not even close friends or relatives. So they know how to whereas men either smile or don't smile, it depends on the individual's programming. Even if it's a group photograph of the college or school batchmate, some men may not smile. This is because they are genetically programmed like this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Enough.
So yeah, I guess that's all for our group and from the Group A and Group H. So, good afternoon and thank you all for
Thank you
today.
all.
Thank
Thank you. Thank
you.
you.